Evening, everybody. Since this is being recorded, this is the July 24th, 2024 board meeting of the Philadelphia Folk Song Society. My name is Miles Thompson, and I'm the president, and I'm calling this meeting to order. If I had a gavel, I'd hit something. First thing I need to do is let's have a board vote to approve the minutes from this last meeting. I'd like someone to propose that motion, please.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Wendy, vocal on that? Approving the minutes. Yeah, thank you. All right, good. Thank you. So that's approved. Wendy's noting her own approval. All right, thank you, everybody. Forgive me. This is likely to be somewhat of a long meeting, so although maybe not. So I want to get rolling. First of all, the festival is only 3 weeks away. And this is going to be our last regular board meeting before the festival begins. We will have a meet and greet with the board of directors at the at some point during the festival. Time is still to be determined. This will not be this meeting at the festival will not be a regular working meeting. It won't be a regular meeting because it's just silly to do so. And the board has met enough in the quarter and the month that it meets the bylaws to do that. The next regular open board meeting will be September 25th. Please be aware that the board will be meeting several times before then, because we do have to discuss finances and relative success of the festival. The relative success of the festival will be reported at the regular meeting in September. Okay, some catch-up notes from last month. Just a reminder to people, Eric Robbins will be responding to requests for refunds. We are really trying to deal with that, but as our policy states on our website, there is no refunds on ticket sales. Speaking of ticket sales, to our beloved membership out there, we really need to drive ticket sales. We expect to sell a whole lot, but at the moment we're kind of in the doldrums. So we need to push ticket sales. Sales are expected to increase in the next 3 weeks, but I'm asking our members to talk up Fest to their friends to create word of mouth excitement, especially for potential ticket buyers who do not use social media. We need volunteers. Please sign up yourselves or encourage your friends, especially those who have never volunteered before. If they're waiting for a year, if someone says to you, "Oh, you got to tell me the best year to go," this would be it. So Steve Ram, that's enough. We got it. Thank you. Speaking of volunteers, I'm going to just roll right into a report from our Vice President, Eric Ring. Go ahead, Eric.
And the one thing that I wanted to bring up is that we had gotten word that some volunteers were waiting to see if we were going to lower the volunteer price. And sort of as the board, I wanted to kind of go over that aspect, because the price is not going to be lower. The people who already bought tickets paid that amount. It would be unfair to lower the price. In addition, we set the price because the festival is going to cost a certain amount. We have to raise that amount, whether it's through sponsorships, ticket sales, or what the volunteers pay. And right now we're going to have probably 20 to 25% of the attendance be volunteers. So that's why we picked those prices, so we could actually meet our goal. Because no matter what happens, if the festival costs a certain amount, that's what we have to pay. And I hear what people are saying, that it's tough for some people, but we need to make sure that there's another festival and that we don't have the same problems that we've had before, and that's why we set the prices what they are. They're not going to be decreased. So I just kind of wanted to go over that.
Thank you. Did you have any other specific issues that you wanted to address?
in terms of the tax stuff, which is what I kind of handle, that's still in progress. I do need to finish the last year's tax return, which I should get done hopefully before Fest starts, but just hasn't been finished yet. It's not due until I'm trying to remember the date. It's like so
October or something? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Good. Thank
October
you.
15th.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just piggyback on something Eric said. Prior to coming up with ticket prices for this year, we did some calculations of what it costs to do the festival. And the reality is we determined it costs approximately $140 for the whole weekend for a volunteer. We were also very clear that we could not jump from $79 or $80 or whatever it was last time to 140. So we capped it at 119 and 120. So right there, we as somebody who our finance director here, Eric Robbins, would say we're losing money on that. And the point is that we will not be dropping those tickets because those tickets are covering our costs. And we have to cover our costs. And as somebody said to me once rather snarkily, well, they, meaning us, should pay that for us. And I had to point out there isn't a they that has a bank account. There's not some large organization that can say we'll absorb the overrun. This is us. So that's what it costs us. And we're not trying to be jerks, but we got to cover our costs. So that's what that is. All right. Thank you, Eric Ring. Eric Robbins, talk to me about finances.
Thank you, Miles. Just want to mention first that board member Jess Holmeyers couldn't make it tonight because she has a family emergency. So our thoughts and prayers are with her.
Correct.
Okay.
The screen coming up.
All right. Can everyone see?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So for the month of July, or the period ending July 24th, we're really ramping up in intensity here with our festival revenues and expenses, and a lot of activity going on. So for the period, we have approximately 45,000 of net income, and that's just because the festival revenues right now are outpacing expenses. That's going to turn really quickly. But we had approximately 96,000 of festival ticket sales in the period, 54,000 of sponsorship, advertising, and vendor fee revenue, and we've incurred close to 108,000 of festival expenses. So if we look at the income statement for the period, you can see society side, not much going on there, but at least we're taking in more in donations and dues than we've incurred expenses. So we're building the coffers a little bit, close to 10,000 in ending net assets there. For the fest, you can see bulk of our activity nowadays, 150,000 in revenue, broken down by those categories that I just said, with a little bit of interest income. And we've incurred about 108,000 of expenses. So net income for the period was 42,000. We had beginning net assets, which really represents cash, of 323. So ending of 366 available to spend on remaining bills. Total for both society and fest, that 45,000 approximately of net income, 376,000 of net assets. So if we look at our balance sheet, you can see our assets are cash, 387,000 in total, most of it restricted for the festival, though we do have 21,000 of operating cash for PFS. Our liabilities remain the same as last period. We haven't paid anything down there. All those liabilities are society liabilities, nothing related to the current year fest. And that's why you see that the net assets are just 10,000 for the society, because it's the 21,000 of cash minus the 11,000 of liabilities. The 366,000 of cash that we have unspent so far for the festival agrees to the total net assets that you see designated for PFF. So that's it for the financial statements.
And do you know, Eric, offhand, if do we know one more $500 payment to Upper Salford? Or did
we had, you know what, when they emailed us, they said they got the final payment. I wasn't sure if you cut $1,000 check
Mm,
because I don't
no.
know why they said that. And
I
I didn't think, yeah,
let's look into that because it may have been because I forgot to cut it in June, so it arrived in July. She thought it was a July payment. Let's
that's the
be,
case.
yeah,
Yeah, we owe 1,000
I don't want
more.
to shortchange our friends. If we owe them money, we owe them money. So, all right. Thank you for that, Eric Robbins. Just a reminder, folks, this is why we're pushing ticket sales right now. We need money sort of up front because we're about to hit a whole bunch of payments going out to contractors, vendors, performers, et cetera, and it's going to be a little tough. Development report from Rob. Go ahead, Rob.
Thank you, Miles. Well, lots of things have been happening with development. We've been meeting each week. We have a great little team of people that have really helped out. For very specifically, we have 2 line items for fundraising for the festival. One is the advertising line item of a minimum of $10,000, and I'm pleased to say that in that smaller line item, we have now achieved that. Some of it is still pledged. We have to collect, but we are over $10,000 now. And we have secured more ads than I believe we've ever had in the program book. We have over 60 paid ads and another dozen or so comp and internal ads. So there'll be a lot of ads in your program book, but that is part of the reason why we are, redesigning the business model so that we don't have to completely rely on ticket sales. However, the larger budget line item is the sponsors, and they also take up some of those ads that I mentioned. Right now, the sponsors are at $58,500, which puts us at about $15,000 or $16,000 behind where we want to be. Thanks to our FON, our Friend of Fest FON, we're making that up already. We've already raised over $2,000, so that will help us bridge that gap. And we still have a number of large sponsors that we're looking to get a final answer on. Is that your final answer? I actually have a phone call with one of them tomorrow. So we still think we might be able to pull that sponsorship line item in. But we definitely need the Friendathon, and thanks again to our great members. We are already have raised over $2,000, and I believe Who Hill is winning right now. So I know you gotta all kind of get that porta potty as quick as you can. I'd like to thank the team of Alyssa Landis and Trish Callahan and a few others, including Erin Gorse, who really put the whole thing together. So that's our fundraising right now, where we are as far as revenue that is not ticket sales related.
I would like to just very quickly say that Julie Linehauser has been beating the drum for Who Hill to win this challenge. And I know she took up the challenge with a couple of other campsites. And so Aurora Borealis, you guys are slacking. Come on, you challenged her. Let's go. Sorry, Rob, go ahead.
Yeah, and the good news is if you don't quite get the first place, second and third place still get pennants to wave next year in your campsite. So that should be fun. And I believe there's also in the works a special deal for some ice that we will throw in to sweeten the deal for the top 3 teams.
Okay. Anything else on the development side, Rob?
On the revenue side of development, that is it. But we are getting a couple of large gifts again. One of which we're hoping to get might go towards the festival, but another from a very generous individual that gave last year is giving again. So we're excited about that. But that
Awesome.
will be separate dollars.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Speaking of, I'm just going to throw this in as sort of out of place, but I should have said it earlier. If you, as I do, usually, if you renew your membership in August every year, because that's just what you've always done, August starts, in a week. So it would be really good if you're one of those August renewal membership people to do so maybe early in August and not the day before the festival. We really can use the cash. That's going to go in that mention and reminder will also go into tune up. Thank you for suggesting that, Annie. But I just know human nature, and I know that we always have an uptick in registrations and renewals right before the festival. And some people wait till Fest to do it. If you can do it ahead of Fest, it would really make our lives a lot easier. Thank you very much. Okay, getting back to the agenda, Rob, let's hear about the Musical Artists Cooperative.
Right. Before I go to the Musical Artists Cooperative, just to mention that the True Believer T-shirts will be ordered tonight, and you will be picking them up at the festival. If you did not give your size, well, we're getting some extra larges and a couple extra extras, but everyone had an opportunity at this point to put in your size, so hopefully everybody will be happy with that. As far as Musical Artists Collaborative, we're having one more very big show to celebrate the festival, and it is free for all members. It's August 7th at the Warehouse 3. If you've never been to the Warehouse 3 in Swarthmore, you should come out and see it. It's a really funky, fun place. Looks like an antique store because it is, and it has a great stage. I was supposed to share our calendar. If I see it, I will do so briefly, but I don't see it. We'll just, oh, there we go. We have something to share. Just for a second, I'll show you what it looks like. This is our calendar. You'll see it in the program book as well, but you can see all these shows coming in the fall after August 7th. So you might want to check them out. Just about every performer that's played there at one of these shows has played the festival. So they're not slackers. So I hope you come out and take advantage of some of these great shows. So beyond that, I'm going to close this out if I can now and stop the share. If there's other things to add from Mac, I know that either Jefferson Berry or Maura Levine, who puts in so much time, they will add it during the questions and answers. So without further ado, I guess that is it from Mac. I know there's a couple other technical things we're working on, like the program book and other things, but I don't know if that's going to be on the agenda, so we'll just move on.
Were you handling Jess's membership report tonight, Rob?
What I will do is I can first of all speak for one aspect of it, and then maybe Miles, if you're able to speak to the other aspect, or Aaron. The part I'll speak on is that Kimberly is overseeing the program book, but Jesse is assisting, and I'm assisting Jesse. So we have 4 quotes for the program book printer.
Jesse or Jess? Same person? Jesse or Jess? Same person?
Jess. I'm adding E's to everything I'm saying tonight. I apologize.
Don't call me Milesy. We'll have a problem.
Okay. So that we're looking at those quotes. We are seriously taking a look at one of the printers that we've worked with in the past, but we have some new quotes. And beyond that, the actual membership figures that were emailed, if you have that or if Erin has that, it'll be a little easier than opening my phone and looking for it. But we do have a membership report for actual numbers. I don't know if you have that, Miles, or if Erin has
I have it from the email that we had. We're up 11 new annual or monthly memberships this month. We're up 23 renewals. We have 30 that are expiring, and we've had 3 cancellations, folks that have canceled their membership. So we're up to, if you do all the math, we're up to 1,201 members, which is technically one up from last month, I think. I don't know. So if you are a member and it's been expiring or going to expire, please bring those numbers up for us. I'm looking at the same email you sent me. Anything else on that, Rob, before I talk about Flair and community outreach?
No, I think we're okay with membership. We appreciate all the members so much, and if you have specific questions, obviously you can reach out to directors at pfs.org.
So this is from Jess, who says that we have volunteers who are graciously helping us with PFS tabling at 8 shows this summer to spread the word about Fest and PFS. We also have Fest flyers and business cards being distributed across the Philadelphia region on business windows and through music shops. Thanks to the volunteers who have stepped up to share that Fest is back. Big thanks to you for that. Ahead of Fest, we have a few MAC shows coming up in August, along with 1 ticket giveaway for members, courtesy of Rising Sun Presents. More information will be found in TuneUp. And we have the Folk Fest Flair Day, which is August 3rd. What we are asking you to do is wear your Folk Fest flair, wear your banjo t-shirts, wear your Folk Fest thing. Take pictures of it. When you run into other people with their Folk Fest flair, take pictures and send them to us. Share your photos using hashtag FolkFestFlair for a chance to win a reserved seating ticket, pass. I'm not sure at the moment if this is a day or a weekend. Somebody probably knows. Kimberly, do you remember what we did with that?
I'm thinking it's a weekend.
Okay, cool, good. So, so those of us that are sort of obligated to wear business casual at work would have to like change into a Folk Fest t-shirt before we leave for the day. So that would be August 3rd. So have a little fun with that if you can. Take the pictures. It doesn't work if we don't know about it. So, let's have fun with that stuff. Okay. I was going to ask for a governance report from George. George is away, so we have no governance issues, but we've got really nothing going on. I want to talk about festival management team stuff. I want to turn it over to the festival management team. So let me start with Andy, and then we'll go to Michael and then Kimberly.
Wendy has her hands raised.
Oh, I'm sorry, Wendy.
Hey, before we get to the Q&A, when I'm transcribing the minutes, it's really difficult when anybody is rattling off a huge list of shows and locations and names and dates. I'm not going to be able to properly transcribe those if you just rattle them off in the Q&A. You're going to need to email any of those to me directly, wfewer@pfs.org, or they can't be included in the minutes. So please do that so that I'm sure I get dates, times, and spellings correct. Thanks.
Thank you, Wendy. Okay, Andy Braunfeld, you're up. Go ahead. I think you're
You're
muted.
muted, Andy. And I didn't do it.
There you go.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on a couple of things that I've seen flash over the screen. Somebody brought up that there are people who have bought tickets who wish to volunteer and can't cut through the morass because they don't want to get charged another $119 when they've already bought a ticket. So if there's some way to deal with that, would the people who have the contacts with the ticket people try to find a way to help them? I don't know how they know about it, because the likelihood is that that ticket buyer will not be able to get through the program. So maybe we could make it known that if you bought a ticket and you do want to volunteer, here's the way you do it. My guess is that those two words, promo and code, will have something to do with a solution, but I don't want to get involved in that solution. I've got enough to worry about.
Andy, I take care of all that, and I've already responded to the people in the chat. So we're good
Okay.
on
Okay, great.
Perfect. Thank you, Eric.
However, this has come up before tonight, and if we could put something either on the Facebook page to deal with it, it would be helpful. I don't know what the solution is, but whatever it was, maybe we could spread that around.
Yeah, Andy, if someone bought a regular ticket and they also would like to volunteer, and we love that, thank you, without asking for any money back, I do provide them with a promo code so they can get a free volunteer ticket. We have approximately 20 to 30 people that have already done that.
Yeah, well,
including people that bought VIP tickets, so that's great.
Yeah, that's great, but what I'm asking is, could we get the word out so that if there are another 100, they know what to do? That's all.
I can help do that.
Yep.
And we'll make sure that it's included in TuneUp as well. Eric, so you and I will exchange a quick email so we can get this information for the members in TuneUp and online. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
The other thing is this. We are in a real volunteer crunch at the moment. The biggest issue with that is that we don't know how bad it is. because we don't know how to equate numbers that we now have at this point, days in front of the festival, to last year, because there are some variables. We know that the ticket sales track, and that I think the number we were given from Eric a while back is that 30% of the tickets were bought within a month of the festival opening. Volunteer tickets were not as clear, but pretty much the same. This year we have two issues to worry about, and we've had a few individual meetings with committee chairs that have been most affected by the shortage so far this year. One is the price of the volunteer ticket. We know that. We don't know how to gauge it. The second is that there are a considerable number of former volunteers in the large committees, camping, parking, security, particularly those three, that were really disheartened in 22 by the way things were done, what they were asked to do, and they felt that they got asked to do much more than they signed up for and didn't really have a chance to enjoy themselves either working or at the rest of the festival, which most of which they didn't get to see, and that was a reason when the follow-up phone calls were made for many people not signing up this year, much more so than the cost of the ticket, at least in the committees that we've already spoken to. There is another one that we learned about today that might be a problem, and we're pretty sure that most of that was dollar related. So those would be the variables that might cause us not to get too excited about these being the last 30 days. Things will pick up, and they well might. Dan Gopstein sent around an analysis that we have now fallen behind that track, and that we were, according to his best estimate, on our way to a total of 1,250 against 1,500 last year. But in many instances, one is not one. For example, on the security committee, there are certain subcommittees of security where we're very short, and we need people on those. So the fact that we have a security volunteer that's doing some clerical work, while important, it doesn't help that subcommittee, Security Central. And that's what we're dealing with, and we're trying to shift people around. And I think the best thing that we can do now is probably give this another week and see if it's starting to look better. And if it isn't, we're going to have to patch the best we can, short some things out, maybe get some professional input in certain ways, especially perhaps with recycling and trash and security. However, I think we're probably going to know by a week from today how bad this is or whether it's going to get better. In most other regards, we're doing what we expected to do. I don't want to speak for any of the committees that have been out on the grounds. I've been there for a couple of weekends, the last 2 weekends. Things look like they're in pretty good shape. We've had some trouble coordinating equipment but that seems to be on its way to being solved. Trucks are out there, bucket trucks are out there. The Wi-Fi was doing very well until a storm about 10 days ago, and it went down, but it's back up. The electrical service is pretty good, and the farm looks okay. So we will pull this festival off. I hope it turns out to be a little bit less ragtag than it feels right now, but we've got a few more weeks to pull it together, and I'm sure we will. I think the volunteers that we do have signed up are doing a terrific job. Everybody seems to be getting along. Everybody wants this to succeed. The other encouraging part of the volunteer situation is that there are many, including people that have been out there 2 days each weekend for the last 2 or 3, that themselves have not signed up yet and say, well, I'll do it when I get around to it. But we know they'll do it because they've already started. So that's basically most of what I'll report. Most of the program stuff, I'm sure you hear from Kimberly, and I don't know, I saw Michael somewhere. I don't know where he is. There he is. Michael, you have anything you want to add?
I think you, yeah, you can hear me. I think you mostly hit everything that I would say. We're obviously 3 weeks out, so we're doing a little bit of everything, finishing up the programming. Been working a lot with production and hospitality committees to make sure that the artists who will be performing have everything that they need on site and back at the hotels. As my dad said, we've been out to the site a few times now, and the committees are hard at work getting everything built. So a big thank you to them. Just to hammer home the point of the volunteers is something old school kind of came up in some of the meetings last week. And in addition, I would urge everybody who's able to on this call, in addition to getting the word out through word of mouth, through social media. I know Jess has some really cool cards with info on how to volunteer. There are flyers to print out. If you're able to just go that classic route of getting them up on bulletin boards in the community, any stores that you think might be willing to have things like that, we need all the help that we can get. So please give shout outs when you can. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Andy, right as you mentioned the internet going out at the farm, I lost my connection here. I'm pretty sure that I know what you were saying, but if there's something you needed my response of and me to be aware of specifically, just let me know, because I disappeared for a moment or two.
Okay. I don't think anything
Okay.
I finished with would require a response.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's hear from Kimberly.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. And for anyone who wants to print posters, I dropped a link in the chat. We created several different versions, including business cards. So that should give anybody access to what you need. And let me share. Can I share my screen, please? I can. Okay, everybody ready? Ta-da! We have a billboard. I don't know if anyone has seen it yet, but this is a photo from the webcam that the Valley Forge Board of Tourism sent me. And this will be up through the weekend of Fest. So obviously, since we have a billboard, we're going to have a contest. I hear that on the expressway that this billboard is on, sometimes people get stuck in traffic. So if you're stuck in traffic and you see this billboard, why don't you take a picture of it for us? and tag us on social media, and it will enter you for a chance to win a pair of reserved seating tickets for the entire weekend. And I just want everyone to know that I got a text from John Oates' team, and they are thrilled. And he would especially like a high-res photo. So anybody who can get a high-res photo for John, he would very much appreciate that. Speaking of fun things that we're doing, we're also having a flash sale this week. This is for anyone who has purchased a camping ticket, whether it's a general admission, VIP, doesn't matter. If you would like to come in early on Wednesday, purchase that ticket and get yourself early access. You can purchase it for individual or for couples. And this week we are having a sale. So use the promo codes in your inbox. If you have purchased a ticket and you didn't get the promo code, either email the directors or myself, and we will send it to you. But yeah, that's only through this Sunday. So get those early entrance tickets and get yourself an extra night. I'll go real quick through this. I'll try anyway. On July 15th, our day passes went to gate prices and our first timer promo code discounts ended. The gate prices for our regular tickets won't go up until August 15th, but just wanted everyone to know that. When I first came on, we've crossed the 700 volunteers. So thank you for everyone who submitted a video. I don't know if you all have seen, but the volunteer committees have put together amazing videos, and we've been sharing those on all of our platforms. We also asked the volunteers to fill out a description of the committees, and they have done that brilliantly. So we made some graphics, and we are going to be pushing that for the next week. All you are going to see is descriptions of these committees, and I'm learning things. It's very interesting. I'm going to be part of all of them. And also, I heard a rumor that we're going to get videos from the president and vice president on the board, encouraging folks to volunteer as well. So from the marketing side, we're doing everything we can to support soliciting and finding new volunteers. So that is what we're up to. Also, the draft for the schedule is pretty much done, as Michael and Andy have alluded to. How we do that is we come up with the programming and then we send it to the performers to make sure that nothing has changed. So we have to hear back from them before we can share it publicly. But we're very close to that. And we're also, once it's done, we share it with the amazing volunteer committee, specifically Sue, Jeremy, and Cheryl, who are helping us. Kara Yarling from Graphics, shout out, she sent us the cover of the program book, which is looking gorgeous. And now that we have all the performers confirmed, which I think we just did 48 hours ago, Kara can work on the official poster. We sent the badges that we're all wearing. We sent those to the printer today. Woo! Thank you to the volunteer team for helping with all of that. Interactive map, we're working on that. And what I mean by that is we have an app that comes with UPT, the ticketing platform. And this year, fingers crossed, we are going to upload all of the performers, their schedule, all the craft vendors, all the food vendors, and all the other fun workshops and kids activities and everything that happens at Fest. We're going to do our best within the next 3 weeks, or however much time we have, to upload all of that into the app and get that out so you can check on what's happening in real time on your phone. So that will be fun. Sue has been working super, super hard. Thank you, Sue, for keeping the websites updated. It's been a change every day, so I just want to give her a continued shout out of thanks. We have the media passes. Those are complete. We sent out the approvals. We sent out invitations to anyone who was not approved to join the marketing team this year. So we have had a couple of changes. And one of those changes is, as Eric Ring was alluding to earlier, everyone is buying a volunteer ticket, from the board of directors to the festival directors to myself. We're all buying tickets. So just to support the cause, so we can have 60 more years of Fest. Which brings me to the new committee. We have a new committee this year, the marketing committee. The marketing committee will be on site at Festival running all the social media. And technically the term is digital marketing influencers, which sounds very serious, but it actually is. What we're going to be doing is I will be directing these folks to get us real-time content. So not only will we have the amazing fest photos that we get from our wonderful festival photographers, we will also be having a team who is putting out short videos and content in real time, just to encourage more walk-up ticket buyers. And so I'm hoping, yep, here we are. So on deck, here's what you're going to see as we lead up until the next 3 weeks. Performer promo videos. I have within my phone an email from Tony Trishka with his video. I have one from the Secret Sisters. I have one from Adam Ezra. I have all these amazing videos. So those will be coming out. I already mentioned the spotlight on volunteers, but please do tell your friends and family. We need as much help as we can get. I can't wait to get my videos from Miles and Eric so I can share them with everyone. Also going to be securing MCs. Working on that this week. Kids, performers, pipers, jugglers are coming back. Okay, so the workshop stages and the guitar symposium. I can't wait to share all this information with you all. And I think that's all I have. So thank you. I'm sorry if that was really fast. Thank you.
I'm talking to myself. Can you send that over to Wendy so she has that data for the minutes?
What I just said? Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely, Wendy. Sorry.
The data, not the apology. Right. All right. Directors, board of directors, festival directors, does anybody have any other issues that you want to share or want to bring up before we open things up to the Q&A from the membership?
No more issues, just 2 thank yous I want to share. I want to thank Nina Owens for getting the word out about the quest, and also want to thank Kathy Quinn for keeping me organized with all these ads. Incredible work by both of them. Wouldn't be able to be successful without our great volunteers.
Good. Thank you.
I have something to just announce, and this is going to go in the minutes. It's also going to go out in emails that in terms of picking up the True Believer t-shirts, they are going to be located at the Society Outreach booth. I will be there at certain times on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm not going to be there all the time, but I will be there each day, and we'll figure out those hours and get out an email to everybody about when I'll be there. You can come pick up your own t-shirt. If you can't make it, you need to email us and specify someone you designate to pick it up, and they can come and pick up your t-shirt for you. We will not be mailing out t-shirts, so they have to be picked up at festival by you or your designee. And again, I'll be there at the Society Outreach booth on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at certain times to be determined to give away or give out the shirts for True Believers.
Thank you, Wendy. And also we will, of course, be looking at in the next several weeks, figuring out who's going to be where at that at the Society Outreach booth and tent. So that's still happening. All right. Let's hear from Q&A, question and answers from the membership. I do not see hands raised, but that might be, there we go. Mara, go ahead, Mara.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Great. Putting in the chat, and we'll also email to Wendy some of the things that Rob mentioned. First, I put in the chat that we have a wonderful partnership with the Hatboro Library, free concert series on Fridays over the summer. So coming up, folks can go for free to lunchtime concerts. This Friday is Amanda Penical. And then we have next Friday, we have August 2nd, Jefferson Berry, and August 9th, Ami Yaris. And then we have our first social and jamming, and I'm putting all this in the chat, on August 2nd at Malalani. And then we will have at the warehouse what Rob mentioned, which is our free celebration return to the fest celebration concert, and it is free. So we hope that people are able to come and join us there. And the acts are the Gene Smith Band, Ami Yaris, Rusty and Jan, and August 21st, we have our Zoom open mic. So I'm just going to put those in the chat, and I will also email them to Wendy.
Good. Thank you, Mara. Saul, go ahead, my friend.
Okay. I think this is, maybe a senior moment. I think this is something I've already brought up. I've I bought both volunteer and VIP, and I think I was told at some point that this means I might need two separate badges. I'm not asking for a refund because as far as I'm concerned, that's a contribution. But
Thank you.
is that true that I'm going to need two separate badges, or outside of that, I'm good?
Yeah, you will get two separate badges when you come. You'll have both your tickets, your QR code, your VIP will get scanned with ticket holders, and you'll go to the volunteer headquarters to get your volunteer badge.
Okay, and will I be able to get those on the Thursday before Fest?
Yeah, the Thursday, the day before Fest? Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because that's
you'll
when
be
I
able-
usually go to get my badges.
Yeah.
Correct. You'll be able to get them that day.
All right, thanks, Eric.
Thank you, Saul. 6, your hand is up.
It is. I just wanted to tag on to what Mara had said. The Union Library of Hatboro is an absolute delight to play. Annie Stevenson and I played as 10 Strings, 2 Hearts this last Friday, and it was such a delight. The people there are wonderful. The audience is wonderful. And make sure you get out to see some of this stuff. It's wonderful.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Thanks for your support. I'm looking around. I see Saul, but I think that's leftover. I think his hand is still up. Dan Gosson, go ahead.
Can we purchase our 61 t-shirts on site? So also receive them, but pay for the cost?
Just a clarification on the question. Are you saying that if you didn't buy one before, you want to purchase one?
Well, no, if you are a member, can we also contribute and pay for them on site? So get a t-shirt and also pay for it?
You know, that's something the board didn't discuss. I know that what we're going to do is everybody that are paid ahead of time gets one for free because they're a part of that. We are going to have other ones left over. So we haven't yet fully determined how we want to handle the excess. So I would not make that decision on my own. I think that would be something that the board would discuss now. I mean, you've done a lot for the festival, and if it's something you want, I can see the advantage of that. But I'm actually at a loss. Usually I have an answer. So we'd have to discuss that. If Miles or if others have a sense of how we want to handle shirts that were not purchased at the time, I'm fine.
What we decided at the time that we did the 61 for the 61st was, and the True Believers, was that we weren't going to undercut ourselves later by selling them at the festival. The premise was you got this shirt and that made you special. So they were for the pre-orders only. We will, if we have leftovers, we're going to do something with them next year.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is just a further donation. Like, hey, I bought into the 61 for 61. The t-shirt is awesome. Let me pay for the t-shirt too, kind of thing. A further donation.
Let's board. We'll have to chat about that.
Well, our society outreach table would take any donations that anybody would give us, whether there's a True Believer shirt or not. We'll take your donation for sure.
Yeah. Eric Ring, your hand
It's
was up.
definitely a reasonable question, Dan. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
no,
Dan.
I was gonna pretty much say what Eric Robbins said, that if you're in the True Believer and then you want to give an additional donation, we're very happy to have you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, Dan.
Miles, somebody flashed a question for me across the screen. I don't know what happens to those, but I couldn't read it to the end, and I don't know what the question was. Do they get, somebody have those little black boxes with
Right.
We have
Do
a
we-
question about the ad. Can I answer that?
No,
That-
hold on.
yeah.
Hold on. One thing at a time.
Sorry.
6, is there a way to preserve the
I've
text boxes?
got it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
That was my question, by the way. Steve.
Okay.
Be saved.
Oh,
Yeah. So the question is, can you clarify, are all the stages not in the campground returning?
yes.
And the answer to that is yes.
Yes. Yeah, and the campgrounds, the front porch stage will still be the site of the campfire after the shows.
Correct.
But it's
That
not
is
being
correct.
used during the day for shows itself. Claire Noyes, go ahead.
Oops. All right, we're flicking on and off. If I'm manning a table at the Bryn Mawr gazebo on Saturday, and I may or may not be able to pick up flyers from Jess, I was looking at the file that Kimberly put in the chat, and it looks like there's a whole bunch of pages that look very similar. Are they the same? Is that what I should be handing out? Or is there another flyer that I should be getting a copy of to print? What am I supposed to be doing on Saturday?
One moment. Kimberly is looking at something. And now she's unmuting.
I'm trying to find the link so I could see what I had sent. Here, hang on one second.
And do we have exhibit material? Like, do we have signs and stuff that I could put up on a table?
So, okay, so these are set to print. Are these the posters? Yeah, okay, so we had two different things. These are the posters, and basically each one says something slightly different. So it's kind of up to you what you wanted to print. I'm not seeing the difference now, and I haven't looked at these in a while. So what I would suggest is just printing the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, I see, because the promo codes are at the bottom, and we're not using that anymore. So yeah, just print the first one.
Okay.
And you'll be golden. I also have another one. I have the color one that Anthony created too.
Color,
if you want to have,
it's good if we don't hand out colors, but at least have it
On the table, yeah.
yeah, I'll find that and I'll drop that one in the chat too. I thought I had, so let me find that link and then I'll drop that in the chat for you too.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Okay, thanks, Claire.
And
As far as what we have normally for putting out at exhibiting, I have lit holders and table covers, but is there anything else we use?
we have used most recently, what we've used is basically, in fact, I think it may still be at the Keswick Theater, a couple of plastic 8.5 by 11 holders, which we put posters in and just had them on the table.
Right. I have them. I just didn't.
Right.
I have them for my other life.
Okay, so if you don't mind borrowing from your other life, I'd say you put the colored put the colored 8.5 by 11s in there,
Right.
and then your good cheer, your smile, and the black and white or colored posters should do the trick.
Got it.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Let me hear from Steve Ram. Go ahead, my friend.
Here we go. Yeah, I put my comments over there because I thought I wouldn't interrupt anybody. Anyway, 4 quickie things because I know you like me quick. Number 1, thanks to everybody that's on the screen. I mean, I'm just truly amazed that's happening. Number 2, a piece of information which Kimberly knows already. The August issue of Icon magazine, which is a large tabloid, which is free and seen around the thing, is going to have a John Oates interview based on the fact that he's coming here.
Nice.
I was able to connect her up with AD Amorosi, who does most of the work there. 2 quickie questions I had over there, and I guess both of them are for Kimberly, and probably no here. Number 1, the app is great. That sounds great. Will it work without Wi-Fi, and will there be Wi-Fi for other than the staff there? That's number 1. And oh yeah, t-shirts. I thought I understood the 61 for 61. There is this contest for the regular t-shirt this year is going to be. There was no closing date on it. Kimberly, is there a date when they'll decide that? And can people pre-order them or? So you know how
I'm just,
many to make.
I'm sure that Trina has already decided that and already gotten with the winners. I'll just wait to hear from her what her next step is. So I know that she's already chosen the top 3. So I just need to get back to her and figure out when I'm gonna announce that to everybody.
Just pre-orders may be helpful there. So. And Wi-Fi in the app, and then I'm done.
Andy, do you want to talk about Wi-Fi? I know there's going to be Wi-Fi on the site, and the app. Annie sent me a message just so everybody knows when you purchased your ticket and when you got that email receipt at the bottom where the QR code was. There was also an option to download the app. Probably no one paid any attention to it, but don't worry, I'll be messaging it out. I'll send you the links on email, and everyone can get the app that way. But wanted to let everybody know that it is out there in the world. And if you go to either Apple or Android store and just put in UPT, you will be able to find it. Over to you, Andy.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi on the site are in various pockets for use by committees. There is no public access to Wi-Fi. I'm sure there will be some overlap, but each one of those pockets will be password protected, and the people who are required to use it will have those passwords. For whatever value it has to everybody, the cell service seems better than I remember it.
And I think, Steve, to answer your question, most of us with smartphones have some degree of cell service that connects to the app. I know the last time we had a functional app, I could use it just fine up there on the farm. If you're working with a very old phone, that's not smart. It may not have that capability.
Okay, thank you both.
Thanks, Andy.
Yep.
James, you have a question. Your hand is up.
Hey folks, hey Miles. Yeah, I think Rob answered my question. Doesn't look
Okay.
like I'll be able to make it, but I thought I'd support somehow with perhaps an ad. But love what you're doing. Thank you.
Thanks for dialing in. Good to see you, my friend.
You too.
James is in Hawaii. Thank him for his support. Jack, go ahead.
Yeah, quick question. Usually before the festival at the office or other places, you need volunteers. Do you still need volunteers before the festival at the office or here or there?
Not yet, because we don't really have a functioning office. Unlike previous years, pretty much everything's happening online. Most of our communication is electronic. Most of our back and forth is electronic. In fact, we're going to have to find this problem, but Rob Mallerman is going to help me by getting our office phones up to the site, so we have telephone connectivity up there, so that during the actual festival, people can call and talk to the information booth or the society outreach booth. But no, everything is pretty much online now, which is going to be a snag sooner or later, but we don't have staff. So
Things have changed since the smoke signal days.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Entirely. So thanks for that, Jack. All right, my friends, thank you all for joining. Directors or festival directors, is there anything you want to add? Anything you want to make clear? Mark Smith has a question. Let's go ahead, Mark.
Hey, going back to the Wi-Fi, there was not always, recently, since there has been Wi-Fi at Fest, it has been available in the hospitality tent. Is that going to be one of the areas where it's going to exist, Andy?
If you are in you mean the performer tent?
I mean, the media, what's being called the media tent, I believe now.
Well, maybe by the media. To us, that's the performer tent.
Okay.
That will probably be able to draw Wi-Fi from the production transmitter, which is at the stage. You would still need a password in order to get there. it is not just widely available.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark.
Mhm.
All right, any other comments? This is great. We're coming down just a little over an hour, which is really impressive. Board of Directors, any final thoughts? Festival Directors, any final pieces of clarification or concerns?
Nope.
No.
Will somebody please move to adjourn this meeting?
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Somebody second it, please.
Second.
Wendy has seconded it. All in favor on the board of adjourning the meeting, raise your hands or say aye. The meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.